So since it's 1st of May, the price of Bitcoin and also the Bitcoin dominance right now is flashing a very interesting scenario. And I'm pretty much sure you guys want to find out where could the price of Bitcoin in the medium short term be possibly hitting, and also what must happen for this bullish continuation to play out. So before I jump into the content, please destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now looking at this price action of Bitcoin here in a daily time frame, you can see guys, for this month of May we have a new CPR, and this new CPR is a very narrow CPR. Let me switch this time frame into 4-hour time frame because I want to show you guys how narrow this CPR for the month of May looks like. Top, central and the bottom CPR, you can see these lines are very narrow, which is indicating the month of May is going to be extremely volatile, because when we had a narrow CPR like this in the month of March, you can see the price of Bitcoin had a massive shakeout and also a very impulsive price movement. But one thing what I want you guys to look at is the CPR. This here is a narrow CPR, first thing, but the most important thing is the ascending CPR. Yes guys, the month of May is favoring the longs, because we have said ascending CPR only gets formed when the price is preparing itself for a new uptrend, and this month of May this is an ascending CPR, which is indicating yes, it's going to be a volatile, but this volatility could be favoring the longs. So that's why guys, this is a very interesting scenario. But right now if you look at the price action of Bitcoin, we are below the CPR line. So what do we want the price of Bitcoin to do in the medium short term? We want the price of Bitcoin to find support over 29,100, 29,150 range, because by doing that we are going to be above the CPR line, which is going to be acting as a support. But in the medium short term, things might be bearish. Why? Even though the CPI is flashing an ascending CPR, why could the medium short term price be bearish? Because if you look at the CPI indicator, the price of Bitcoin is below it. So in the medium short term, if we do see bigger shakeout here in price action of Bitcoin, according to the CPI indicator for this month, the first monthly support line, the first monthly resistance line is this one here. I mean, the first monthly resistance line, the first monthly target for this month of May is going to be 31,200, and the first monthly support line is around 27,125 range. So the previous monthly top CPR line along with the monthly S1 line is going to be looked as a target, a bearish target for Bitcoin, which is around 27,000 range. But we know any sort of a pullback around that area, we have another important line of support lining for Bitcoin, which is, you can see this broadening top lower line is also lining exactly around 27,100 range. So for this month of May, our first bearish target is the S1 line, 27,100, right? And if we do come across that range, it could be still looked bullish, because that could be a test from the previous support line before choosing a trend duration. And one thing what I also want to talk about, since the monthly candle has closed, I have been very clear, the Bitcoin dominant chart is clearly showing strength. And now since we have also closed the monthly candle above 48%, this chart, the Bitcoin dominant chart, is showing strength, which could be also looked as a continuation here like this double bottom breakout or even a parallel channel breakout, which will indicate the upcoming days for Bitcoin looks bullish compared to holding altcoins. So that's why this is also one thing what I want you guys to keep in mind. But for the most bullish scenario to play out for the upcoming days, we need the price to find support about the monthly CPR line, top, central and the bottom CPR line, which is lining around 29,000 to 29,165 price range. So as soon as the price finds support over the CPR line, we are ready for this next move here to the upside around 31,200 range. But now, since the price is below the CPR line, we have to be careful. And even if the bearish scenario plays out first, getting attracted towards the monthly S1 line around 27,000, I just showed you this could be a retest from the previous support line before choosing a trend duration. And not just only that guys, in the medium short term, yesterday I showed you here, we could be seeing a dead cat bounce type of price formation. And now if you look at this dead cat bounce, it is still playing out. Price got rejection exactly after reaching around the 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line, and now we are seeing some weakness in price action of Bitcoin. So if this is going to be a continuation here to the downside, then maybe the price, yes, could be coming back to test this 27,000 one more time before choosing a trend duration. Because if we want to fail this bearish scenario what is playing out right now for Bitcoin in the medium short term, we need to find support about 29,000. But if we want to completely turn bullish, we also need to flip the 0.618 around 29,500 into proper support, because by doing that, the price of Bitcoin could be turning bullish. Why bullish? Because we will be breaking above this resistance line. Yes guys, this upper line from the descending channel will be broken, and price after that could be following this bump and run reversal pattern. Yes guys, once the price of Bitcoin, which is forming a bullish continuation pattern, flips the key line of resistance into support around 29,500, then there is a very high probability of this trend to continue further before again showing some sort of a range bound or even some weakness. And why? Because I just showed you in the medium short term, we just need the price of Bitcoin to come across this CPI line to remain or to continue this uptrend. Right now, since we are below it, we are expecting some weakness, also some shakeout. But as soon as the price finds support above this top central and the bottom CPI line around 29,000, then there is very high probability for this trend to continue here to the upside, breaking the key line of resistance. Because by doing that, we are going to be invalidating this bearish scenario, which is rejecting the price around that range, and even continue this uphill run. Yes guys, this uphill run will play out perfectly once we flip the previous temporary resistance into proper support, because we know in a bigger frame, right, this long-term resistance line has already been broken, and I have been very clear with you guys. In the medium short term, 27,000 is support. But even if we fail to hold that range and follow to the downside towards 25,000 is the biggest support, and also one of the most important support which we have right now for Bitcoin. But as long as we remain over that range, any sort of a shakeout should not bother us that much, because even in this example, after breaking this key line of resistance, price usually shows more of a range bound, but at the end still continues this uptrend. So that's why what I want you guys to understand, to remain bullish in a bigger frame, 25,000 support is very important. But in the medium short term, since the price is below the CPI line, even if we do see any sort of a shakeout for the bearish target, we are going to monitor on the 27,000 range, because that is also the line where we have some confluence. But we know as soon as the price manages to flip two important resistance into support, first resistance will be the CPI line resistance, and second is the resistance from this falling trend line. Yes, upper line area from the falling channel and upper line area from this falling trend line, or the bump and run reversal pattern. Because by doing that, I mean by flipping this 29,100 into support, this is going to be a bullish continuation towards this falling trend line one more time, right? And even flipping that into support will turn the price of Bitcoin very bullish. So this is what I see right now looking at the price action of Bitcoin in a daily time frame, in a bigger time frame, and also in a smaller time frame. If you enjoyed my work, then please guys, please destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching it the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.